Hey guys, yours truly, Kevin Grace. I'm here in New York. I'm at 213 Park Avenue South. Actually, the building is right behind me. It's located between East 18th Street and East 17th Street. This building has so much history here. It was at one time Max's Kansas City. It was opened by Mickey Raskin in December 1965, and it closed officially in 1981. Now, you had a lot of artists, sculptors, and different musicians that would hang out here. It was a favorite place for people like Andy Warhol and his crew. You had different musicians that played here. Believe it or not, this was one of the last places that Velvet Underground played right before Lou Reed wound up quitting the group. And even Bruce Springsteen had played here in 1972. He did some acoustic sets, I think in like December 1972. And in November the 5th, 6th, and 7th of 1973, he wound up performing here, and believe it or not, who opened up for him was Bob Marley and the Wailers. Yeah, that just tells you how crazy, insane this place was. You also had Debbie Harry, who was a lead singer of Blondie. She was a waitress here at one time, and matter of fact, she wound up performing here later when it became more of a punk rock club. And it kind of fell off in 1974 as far as popularity, so Mickey closed it in the end of 1974. And then in 1975, it opened again, and it was basically strictly a punk club. If you ever see the movie Sid and Nancy, they wound up shooting their scene. This was in 1985 when they used this building, and they wound up doing the scene of Sid Vicious playing here. So when he broke up from the Sex Pistols, he did all his solo tour dates here at Max's Kansas City. You had other groups like the Talking Heads, Blondie, also the New York Dolls that played here as well. So you had a lot of different places and different bands. Unfortunately, the stupid UPS truck is right in front of it, so you can't see it. Now, like I said, it wound up closing. Mickey wound up closing it 1982. He wound up dying in 1983 at age 50. I don't know what the causes were, and I don't even know where he's buried, so I can't even go to his grave to show you his grave. But later, this at one time was the campaign headquarters for Mayor Ed Koch, and also later in like 2010, it became a Korean delicatessen. And I was hoping that the place would still be open. I would have gone in here. But as you can see, it's right next to this CVS if you come here. Now the lights are on upstairs. I have no idea, but this is it here. So I guess they had the two entrances. Now it used to have a canopy, and you can see up top, right up there where the canopy was that came out that said Max's Kansas City. But man, a lot of history here. If there's any video I can put at the end of this video, then I will. You can still see they've got the menu for when it was a cafe down here. But yeah, I was hoping to go in here and check this out. But let's see if we can get closer to the door and see if we can see what was in here. Can't see anything in there, so dark. Man, so much history. Hopefully one day in the future it'll reopen and I can show you what was in here. But like you said, you had different people. Even I forgot to mention Alice Cooper hung out here, and also Iggy Pop hung out here, David Bowie, and also Country Joe McDonald, who recently passed away, performed here as well. If you like this video, please subscribe down below and feel free to leave any comments about Max's Kansas City.
People always talk about, the significance of CBGB's and how important a club that was. Obviously it was. But I always liked Max's.
If you date punk rock to the New York Dolls and the Velvet Underground and Suicide, Max's was there well before CBGB's.
It was a place that, had a lot of history, not just punk rock history, but classic rock and roll history.
And there was a lot of other little places to play, but Max's was the place. It was the cool place.
So Max's became a well-known place. Plus, it was the Warhol crowd, so it was uber hip.
Max's played a very important part in the golden age of music.
There was an act at Max's Kansas City a few weeks ago, Iggy Pop is his name, who cut himself on stage and ended up with 16 stitches.
All of these people gathered in the back room of Max's Kansas City.
A new rock group has surfaced at Max's Kansas City and created a sellout.
And we were scheduled to play Max's Kansas City. For 6 nights in a row, we sold it out.
Culture and fashion do not come out of nowhere.
It was one of the homes of punk, really. That's what it was for us.
This shit was punk rock. We'd walk down the street and people would say, where the fuck we going? To a Halloween party? Or, look at that crazy motherfucker,
And I have been to clubs everywhere. Max's was it.
Of all the places, things could happen there. They were all high all the time.
The Max's in the 70s was like, famous. It's going to be like, I always remember. It's going to be written about and filmed about, always.
Years later, I heard the various stories about money being manufactured in the basement.
They noticed that American money is all the same size. So they started bleaching out those ones and printing the hundreds.
And all of a sudden, all the guns went up.
And they figured out how to pass them without getting caught. They would go to Atlantic City and buy chips.
They were doing something shady, come on.
You made 2 mistakes.
This shit was punk rock.
This little girl came up to me with this long hair, a little powder blue party dress. And she said, "Hi, are you going to Max's?" And I said, "Oh no, I think I'll go home now." And she said, "Oh, come with me. My name's Andrea Whips." And I thought, oh, okay.
It wasn't even a, where are we going? It was, what time do you want to get there? And there was Max's Kansas City.
And Max's, you went every single night of your life. No matter what else you did, you stopped at Max's. Even if it was 2 o'clock in the morning, you stopped at Max's after whatever else you were doing. It was like checking in at an office or something.
At the intersection of everything was Max's Kansas City.